family. Assuming he has told his family earlier, he would have gotten that treatment earlier. He keep coughing and coughing, and one of the signs of lung cancer is you coughing unconditionally. Any little thing, you will have this chronic cough. To the extent that they even have to force him to say, go and do X-ray. When he did X-ray will not show everything. X-ray just show this and this, not knowing that cancer has become chronic. It hit him so fast in the last 4 years. And we have so many people who have smoked 20 years and they are still standing. Nothing is going on with them. Because of yes, and let me quickly explain something about how the body is. My body is different from your body. That is why people process things differently. It's called the disease process. You see somebody who is 80 years is healthy, and you see somebody who is 40 years and the person is very sick, going from one hospital to the other, being maybe from one complication of disease and the rest of the thing. So we cannot say because Mohbad is 24 years does not mean he cannot have those symptoms and those things cannot kill him. It can kill him. Even somebody who is 20 years being diabetic, who has type 1 diabetic, if it's not processing the insulin, not taking the right medication, may have complication and go into diabetic coma and the person dies. So death does not have any age range. Death is not only for the old or for the young or for the middle. It comes to anyhow if the person lives his or her life. That is why it's called healthy living. Live a good life so you don't have those diseases that will continue to progress and lead somebody to death. Some people may have maybe hypertensive. It depends on how the body processes it. They may be taking the same medication, doing the same thing. One person may live healthier and the other person may have other complications of being hypertensive, and it may also lead to diabetes, lead to depression and this. And the other person is just being like that. So our body are all different.
Definitely, we understand. I understand that.
Okay.
I mean, let me say, I personally, what I'm saying is, if someone died or somebody died of blood pressure or hypertension or stuff, will the autopsy be able to review that or not? Would you educate me on that? Are you there? Can you hear me?
I don't know about whether autopsy. I don't really know much about what autopsy can review or not. But the only thing is that they can go with the person diagnosis and the complications. And I think that was what the hospital and the police did. Because for the police to come out to say it is what they did, they've worked with a medical professional. You know, even we have medical professionals, we have police who are still, some medical professionals who still work in the police department. So they've interviewed the nurse. It's from the interview the nurse said and everything that they've listened and said, okay, that was how they came to his conclusion. And they said, okay, he's been depressed, he's been this. And from the medication the lady gave, because what I'm even looking at, maybe that tetanus shot did not get to him. Maybe it's an expired one.
Let me say one thing, please. Do you know the
sure, but there's every possibility of that tetanus being expired.
Do you know they carried out an autopsy on him?
I know they did, but they couldn't come to a conclusion. According to from what we read in the city, whatever they did, they couldn't come to a conclusion. Why? Because according to it, they said they saw some fraction of drugs in his system, which we all know that, you know, Mohbad being somebody who is a musician, is into smoking and everything, drugs or whatever. But why they could not really come to a conclusion was because the thing that they would have used, they said they buried him so fast and everything, so they couldn't get the right something to use. So you know what? The problem is that J4M was not really for J4M was for reform, and I don't know why they turned J4M, because there's no how. Even if the wife does it, let them leave it for God, because people coming to say the wife did this, the wife did. No, it's not possible. They've done I believe they've done their investigation. And somebody being a nurse who has practiced so many years over here, I know what medical negligence is. And I know that it can really cause it. So the nurse is the one who did it. Even for those who are nurses, let me tell you, a nurse who went to school, who graduated, you go now, you find out, you go to check a resident, a patient, you find out that the person's blood sugar is 64. Because the doctor gave an order that you should give insulin. You're supposed to use your brain as a nurse to say, 64 is low, let me hold this insulin. I'm not going to give, because insulin is supposed to try to bring the blood sugar down. And you give this person insulin without giving the person food, the blood sugar will continue to come down. Let me tell you an instance. There was a nurse who was supposed to give a patient morphine. He was supposed to give 0.5 ml. That is a very little thing. But because the nurse made a mistake, instead of giving 0.5, she wanted to give 5 ml.
Wow.
This patient was kind of dying. If not for the physical therapy who wanted to go work with the patient, he found that this patient was kind of not moving and everything. Before you could know it, the only good thing that saved that patient was that there was an antidote ready. Immediately, the doctor said, give an antidote. They gave him NACA immediately, and this patient came back to life. If not that the physical therapy said, oh, I need to go and work with this man. Enough for that the man wasn't talking, and the man was just kind of more, his breathing was low. When you check the man's breathing, his respiration, normal respiration starts from 12, even 12 is low, but if you're dying, 12 is acceptable. From 16, this man was going 8, 10. But you know, they have all antidotes in the hospital. Immediately they gave this man antidote. That was why I'm like, the man, also the nurse made that mistake. This is a nurse, or a trained nurse. You want to tell me that this is somebody who went to nursing school, passed board, who has been working. You don't know what she was thinking, whether she was depressed, whether she was taking something in her house. Instead of giving, you see the difference, 0.5. She went to give 5 ml.
I get you. And you see, what I just wanted to know is this. I understand the whole what you are saying, and I just hope you look. I understand, but this medical errors and that medical practitioners they perform, and I wanted to know that it's not even only in Nigeria. You understand? Medication administration could be wrongly done, but there are processes for, how do I call it, that you have to go through when you administer medication wrongly, when you probably give treatment wrongly. Now, that aside, we are saying that they are just, okay, was the administration, the nurse as well the one that brought about the bleeding of that guy? That guy bled, definitely.
The problem is that when people keep saying the guy bled, but the nurse never said they were. He said there was a cut. It was bleeding. No,
everybody confirmed it.
No, nobody confirmed it. It was only the few people who believe. Even Papa said he saw it. There was nobody. If the nurse, if there was bleeding, that is why I said, you people, instead of you, they would have held Baba too, because if you come to a scene, you see such bleeding. That is why I'm saying that if there was such bleeding,
did you know that the mother confirmed it too? Do you know the mother confirmed it? Almost everyone.
No, the mother said, it was when they removed the IV that there was, okay, maybe from the cut, it bleed. Because definitely when you remove IV, the patient will bleed. Or if there is a cut, there's a difference between blood and cut, bleeding. Because the way people are saying bled, if you are bleeding profusely or whatever they call it, you cannot last.
Do you know
they will be bleeding and they will keep the patient in the house? No, they will definitely, they are going to jack the person to the hospital. Okay. You cannot be bleeding and sit in the house. You're going to bleed to death.
I'll tell you where the bleeding comes in. Now, I will say if you have been following VDM's
no, I don't follow VDM. I listen. I listen to the city when you read it, and I pick what I pick.
Do you know that when he was saying, there were a lot of people who actually came to witness and then said, there are people who came to witness to testify what they know about it. And like,
but the people who said,
let him talk now, don't shock him.
The driver who was there said he was listening. The auntie who came, she didn't even come at the scene of the event. She wasn't there.
Are you
she
the nurse?
Some days later.
Are you the second nurse?
Gave a whole different narration.
Are you the second nurse, madam?
The people who were there, who was there, maybe because there's no way women will buy a husband that Adura will see his brother being the breadwinner of his family. Somebody
now what for you?
For him and he will support him. Nobody does that. Please. There's no way. Even Mama Adura, if Mama Adura and Mama Mohbad knows that this is a person, she's not going to support him.
You are mad. Why is she covering his mouth ever since then?
Spending was there. He was the one who called the nurse. You know why spending is also
Spending caused the nurse.
They want to know if there was a collaboration between him
and
the nurse. Whether it was like, okay, nurse, if Sandy can defend himself and he found out that his hands are clean, I know if his hands are clean, he's going to go. They're going to let him go. But they just want him to come and say, okay, this is a nurse. I did it from my own free will. I never knew there was nothing hidden behind it. There was no mission behind it. Why they are putting spending is they wanted to know if there was a mission behind him calling, because he was the one who called the nurse. And they said, oh, I have a friend who is a nurse. They wanted to know to say, oh, this guy will come and do this and do this and do A and Z to A. That is the reason why spending is there. But I believe if his hands are clean and if he could defend himself to get a good lawyer, he will be acquitted. He's not going to be found guilty. But all in all, because people keep saying blood.
People keep saying blood. No, second nurse that will be caught. Did the police not say he bleed profusely?
In your hand, blood cannot gush out from the hand just like that. No. If blood is coming out, it will stop. The only way you can have such pool of blood is whether maybe it's coming from the vagina or from the uterus. Or maybe somebody ate poison and is pooping out poison. Or maybe the person bumped his own head. Even when you bump your head, blood is not going to gush out like that. So I don't know what people think it's called pool of blood. If somebody falls today and the person has maybe it has head crack on everything, there will be blood. There can never be that kind of pool of blood. Because when there is a pool of blood, you are gone. You need to go and get urgent care. And most blood sometimes are inside the internal organs that people do not see. So for them to say externally they have that kind of blood, I'm kind of wondering, if you only see those kind of pool of blood when you slaughter somebody. Like if you slaughter a cow or a hen, you will see blood gushing out. That is slaughtering. But this person wasn't slaughtered. He only has a cut on his hand. Maybe the cut, according to what they said, it was from the fight he has with his friend, that he has glass, he has a break or glass poked in. From that poke, that was why when they did the autopsy, the results came back. They said there was nothing like a mark or a pool of blood. The only mark they saw on his body was the cut which he has. Definitely, when you have a cut, even when somebody dies, that cut is still there. That was the only thing. Autopsy will not come and say if there was pool of blood. CT camera would have said, oh, there was trauma to the brain. There was trauma to the end. There was no trauma to his body. There was nothing like his body wasn't traumatized. So that is when you will say that if they fought and maybe Wumi, she pushed him down, it would have shown in the autopsy that there was a trauma somewhere, because there's no how it will be there in the body. These are experts who has done a diligent job. The blood was read out from the cut which he has, that he keep bleeding, because that was why they wanted to give a tetanus shot so that it will not be infected, because tetanus too can kill. That is why when you come to abroad, they give you tetanus shot. It lasts for 10 years. Because of when you have a cut and you don't take care of it, it goes straight to the heart and the blood we have. That is how tetanus kills. So the nurse, as a matter of fact, I'm saying she wasn't a qualified nurse. As she was a qualified nurse, she would have asked him, have you had any cut? Have you taken your tetanus before? These are some of the questions which they would have asked. But she did not ask. She just felt, oh, there's a cut. I have to give tetanus. No. Good Samaritan law does not save you as a nurse. That is why, as a nurse, before you do something, you go through the book, you go through the process, you go to make sure you are working where you're supposed to work. I'm not going to say me being a nurse now, I don't know how to fix an IV. And I say somebody who needs an IV, I'll say, okay, let me do it. No, because if I fix an IV, I wasn't trained to fix an IV, and something happened to the patient, I will be held responsible upon being a nurse. Because I wasn't trained, I'm not an IV nurse. So that is what the nurse did. There was no trauma to his body. If there was a nurse, there was fighting or anything, the CT scanner, the autopsy would have shown that, oh, we found that he has a broken ribs. We found out that his head got struck. We find a mark on his skull. These are the evidence. What they just said, the only cut they found on his body was the one he has on his arm, which is synonymous to what we have been saying. So if Nigerians can accept this, that it is medical negligence, then there will be a way forward. But people are not accepting it.
Oh, Madam, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
You understand? But what I'm saying is, I want to ask you and tell me now, are you exonerating the woman now? Are you saying from all angles or from your own?
I'm not going to, I cannot exonerate and I cannot crucify her. I'm only going to wait. No, I cannot, because I am not in that field. But as a nurse, I know that it is medical negligence. Because when we should wait for the court, to give evidence.
We agree that there's medical negligence.
Yes, so if there's medical negligence, why do we have to hold the nurse? Nothing happens to the nurse. Nothing happens to the wife. Just like what the judge said. The judge gave her her own fault and said no, because this is a lesson for everybody. And I think this is supposed to have been a wake-up call. Nigerians only just scream at the early stage and they go back to it, because let's say half of Nigeria, 50% of people in Nigeria use quack nurses or whatever. But the judge also faulted her, gave her her own fault and said, you don't do that next time. Your husband is a celebrity, no matter what, because she holds it as a duty of care. Because when they find out that, when the nurse came in and everything, I hear people saying she didn't really stay there, nobody knew that was going to lead to death, because they felt it was a young guy. If it was an old person, somebody who has been showing these symptoms of being sick, then the family will gather around him. So you know that a nurse has come in. Even you keep going in and out, which is a normal thing for anybody to do. She's not going to sit there to say, oh, my husband wants to die, because it wasn't showing any symptoms of him being dead, going to die. They never knew that it was going to happen that way. It's just that it was just an unfortunate incident. It's very, very unfortunate. There should have been a reform to say, okay, no, so you don't do this, people don't do this. That was what justice was supposed to be. Justice was supposed to be for reform, but they turned justice to be something different. I'm not going to find the wife guilty, because the judge has already faulted her where she was faulty and said no. And which is also a lesson for every one of us, everybody. If you're bringing a quack nurse or a trained nurse or whatever nurse to the house, whether being an experienced, a quack or auxiliary or whatever, your one duty of care is for you to be there. Ask question. What are you giving this person? You know, when I was in Nigeria, it's only God that did not kill all of us. I know when I was sick, they want to give me injection. The nurse, they only have one injection. After injecting me, they will put it back to use it on the next injection they want to give, because it's the same person. They can use if they want to give you 5, you want to take 5 shots, they will use 1 injection to give you 5 shots. These are in the hospital. It's only God who did not kill us that time. But here, they will tell you cannot recap any injection. You cannot reuse it. We have a container. Once you inject a patient, put it in that container. You cannot recap to say, I want to reuse, I want to reuse, I want to reuse. So these are so many negligence that it was because I became a nurse. I found out so many faults. So many things went wrong in Nigeria because I knew I was sick for so many times. But it's only God who saved every one of us. So these are the reforms that people need to know. If you bring in anybody, even if you go to the hospital too, if a nurse is taking care of your loved one, stay down there and know what is going on. What are you giving? Ask questions. That is where they gave her her own fault. So she didn't really do anything. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate that it has to go. But the family also needs to accept it that it's an unfortunate incident.
No, nobody is going to accept, and that's one thing about, if you are talking about abroad too, nobody is going to accept any unfortunate incident.
Why would they accept it?
Okay, let me say it. Even abroad that you're talking about, nobody will say it's an unfortunate incident. They want to know exactly what go wrong.
No, they've asked questions. That is why they did.
Okay, madam.
That was why there was corona. That was why there was interview.
I'm saying that
all the investigation they want to do.
Hold on. Are you saying that the autopsy, they said, the reason the judge was not giving a clear and concise judgment? Hold on.
You see, now I disagree with that. Okay, the judge gave evidence based on fact, not on emotion. Not on hearsay, not on narration that was given on the social media. It's evidence based on everything they brought forward from their talking, from all their confession. No. People should respect the judiciary. Respect your judiciary, please.
Nobody's not saying. We are not saying that the judiciary was not doing what is right though. She was giving some facts. And she made the judgment on that fact. But what fact did she work with? Was there a clear autopsy? People do autopsy even after somebody don't mind.
No, they gave the reason why the autopsy wasn't clear. The pathologists read it. They gave the reason. They said because Baba went to bury the body, they cemented it. Technically, when they buried somebody, you pour sand. You allow the sand and everything to absorb. You don't cement immediately. That was the mistake Papa did. Papa Mohbad, for him to have buried that guy, you see, when you bury somebody, you don't go even here. When they bury somebody, they pour sand, salt, from sand to sand, they leave it, they go. Maybe after 1 week or 3 days or 2 weeks, they will come and do because they will allow it to take its own process. For the bottle, so because he buried it, he used, when you are doing soccer away, they use cement, they use everything. That was the reason why. That was why they couldn't get a concrete result from the autopsy. But the autopsy also tried to say, okay, this is what we find in the system. There was drug in the system, and this is what we observed. There was no trauma to the body. There was no bruising. There was no any bleeding. The only thing we found out, before then they said there was hair cut. They said no, his body was intact. No severe trauma, because if there's trauma, autopsy would have revealed it if there was any broken bones. But there was no broken bones. So, but he couldn't come to a conclusion. But he still gave his own result. To say this and this. Because they wanted to know whether it was poison. And poison was also ruled out of it. The food he ate wasn't poison. It's not something that was poison. So that one was also ruled out. So the judge worked with everybody. They did that corona for weeks. They worked with all evidence they had. They interviewed people. People came to say what they want to say. That is why you see that where people want to go. The problem I found with Nigeria, even my friend, the last time they did the election, people keep saying, oh, this and this. If you ask an average Nigerian, somebody on the street, and say, what is Tinubu policy? They don't even know. People don't sit to read. People don't sit listen to news to know what goes from the news is when you get your facts. But from TikTok and social media, you never get facts because even me saying things, sometimes I may want to say it because I may not be saying a lot of things with facts. But if a news person or a journalist or whatever the media is saying something, they've done their due diligence. They've done their assignment. They are coming out with facts.
What is your submission? What is your own take on when you say due diligence? Now, please, 1 minute. Let me. There's a place I'm going. When you say due diligence, because something. Now, as far as medical and say autopsy is fun, are we saying they can with someone's body? Is it the fluid from the soil that they need to use to do autopsy, or they can with the body they can actually get an autopsy? Say even if the person had died 5 years ago, they can actually get with the body they can actually know exactly what by the person. Do you want to answer me that, brother? You're muted if you're actually talking.
Yeah, that is why we have those experts. The experts, they've done their job. I'm not an expert in this. It's not my field. That is why in everything, you leave it for the experts. They've done their job. They've done their findings. They took their time. You know that autopsy was not something that was done. They did a thorough job. In as much as we don't like what they did a thorough job. And they came out and they said, this is what we came about with. And this is our conclusion. We couldn't get a conclusive whatever, but this was our findings. And that was what the judge worked with. So if somebody who is not an expert in that field comes and tell you, oh, autopsy wasn't done, which fact does the person work? Has the person done autopsy before? Does the person have the experience? No. So people cannot come and be saying things based on emotion or based on I notice. No, when you are coming out, come out with facts and figures. That is why they have so many different departments. People are working. Forensic is different. Autopsy people is different. The labs are different. The medical personnel are different. Therapies are different. There are so many different departments because they've gone to school. They know what they are doing. So I don't believe, for me, my whole conclusion from the fact I live here and I followed it from the CTC is in the city is on the website. People should take time to read it. These are people talking under oath. If Wumi is going to be charged, they're going to bring everything she has said to come out for her to defend it. That is why when you are talking, you need to talk with facts. You need to be sure of what you are saying. You don't talk because I want to talk. They are all giving their facts. They all say their truth. In case they call them, they can defend what they say. So please.
Would you say that you said you are in US?
Yeah, I'm in US.
Would anybody accept such results in the US?
Why not? Yes, we believe our experts.
I'm saying that.
And the second of this
anybody have accepted
yes.
it?
When the facts are there, the evidence are there. Even let me tell you, even here in US, sometimes when somebody dies and the family feels so bad, they are not satisfied, they take the person to board of nursing. Your own is to come out and defend, get your lawyer. Yeah, you get your lawyer. That is why they entertain all complaints. You get your lawyer and you come there and defend yourself. That is why we have.
Is that in the autopsy?
Huh? No, not regarding. Let me tell you, my brother, I cannot say anything to the autopsy because I'm not an expert in it. I don't know anything about autopsy. I'm only telling you from what I've read, and I believe it because they are experts.
From your own angle now, because your field is medical, and then you feel like there's a medical gap, medical negligence. Then you feel like because of the medical negligence, then there's this is the 90% chance that he died from this medical negligence.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I get your point now. But the truth is, we agreed. We are giving the 90% to the medical negligence. But we are saying that even the 10% is a chance. And we are saying that the 10% chance.
No, you know what? If we remove.
Okay.
Let's remove. Let me tell you. You know.
We are saying that.
Let me tell you the problem.
We are saying that. Hold on 1 minute, please. We are saying that there are lots of there are just more than just one coincidence. There are lots of coincidences that come up that looks like this is more than. Let's look beyond medical negligence.
If they want to look beyond medical negligence, that was why the first time when they say they should go do it, they should go and do it traditionally, that the Baba refused. Because the Baba doesn't believe in that. You know, one thing if Nigerians, let me tell you, one thing if we Nigerians can take from our mind.
Let me tell you something.
Say, something can happen to anybody.
1 minute, please.
Death is not a respecter of age.
Of
Death
course.
comes into people anytime.
But death will not just.
No.
Death will not just. Somebody will not just go and say, I want to die because.
It comes. Apart from him being dead. So okay, look at this guy that died, Junior Pope or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't really know that died. That they said he was in the swine. He got into the river, the boat or whatever they used, canoe capsized, and he couldn't swim. You know, when that guy came out. If it was like, I don't think there was CPR, that guy, CPR would have saved his life. Assuming Nigeria knows how to do CPR, because definitely he wasn't really dead. He wasn't really gone. Maybe he was unconscious. That is why it's found out that when you're unconscious, CPR can bring you back if it's being done in the right way and done immediately. But instead of Nigerians to say, okay, oh, this person came out because he was in a river, he drowned, he was still breathing. If they've done CPR or they've done, he would have vomited that water and, gaps and slip back to life and send him to the hospital. But the mistake most people were there did, one, they didn't know how to do CPR. And nobody could save him. Rather, people were taking pictures of him and everything. So he's a young person who also met his water law on timing death. Death can come to anybody, irrespective of the age. 5 years old child can also die, from being sick and not being treated very well, and this person also died. So Mohbad dying is not an exceptional. No, it is not an exceptional. Kids, we just pray that we all live long. It's because of the kind of life he has lived. This is the same drug that some people took, and they are healthy. They are still working well. That is why they say don't do things because others are doing it, because you don't know how your body is. There are some people who has like kidney disease at an early stage, and there are some who has kidney disease at the late stage. As diabetics, but people who are diabetic, people will say people don't die of diabetes. People still die of diabetes. We have young people here who still die, maybe because they are not being managed properly, they don't follow their medication and this. And has not been taking his medication, because when one is hypertensive, these are medication you take for the rest of your life to always bring your blood pressure down. But maybe they just gave him once, he didn't continue, and his blood pressure was high. Because if I tell you, the nurse who gave him that injection and who gave him all those things never checked his blood pressure, which was I'm 100% sure his blood pressure wasn't checked, his vitals wasn't checked, because mostly that blood pressure, she never knew. Because if she has checked the blood pressure, that would have given her a red flag to say, no, your blood pressure is high. Because over here, if you want to go and remove ordinary your teeth, and you go to the clinic to remove your teeth, and they find out that your blood pressure is so high, they give you two options. They will tell you, we cannot do it because your blood pressure is high. If you insist, they'll say, okay, sign and undertaking to say you are the one accepting to do it irrespective of your blood pressure. Because once blood pressure is high, anything can happen. So if that nurse has taken his blood pressure and she has seen that this person blood pressure is high, being hypertensive, all those medications she gave, she wouldn't have given it to him. That was where the fault comes from. I think we have a guest. Let's hear from our guest. Since they left the platform for me and my brother to discuss.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Good morning.
I've been hearing from you since morning, ma. You are the one that I've been speaking since. You are the one that spoke with one woman that said she was going to work. I don't know, one lady like that, she left. When you were narrating how Mama Mohbad left the house and every other thing, how Baba... Not you.
It was, no, I think the lady left. She was the one who said something about Mama. I didn't really know much about Mama Mohbad.
Okay. Wait, let me say another thing. Since you said is not negligent, there's two points I want to bring out there. Okay, the first time they accused Prime Boy, they accused Naira Marley, Mohbad accused Baba Mohbad. So you understand from there, if it's negligent, the nurse that really bite Mohbad, as you said, why was Karimo trying to whisk her sister away? Why was Iyabo Ojo trying to whisk Wunmi out of the country? Nurse bite Mohbad. It's not Naira Marley, it's not Prime Boy. Why were they trying to whisk her away? Please, I want you to talk about that one.
Do you have evidence of those? Because let me tell you, I don't look at those things.
No, listen, Karimo. Okay, you don't listen. This one is not allegedly. It's all over everywhere. Karimo said it. She has said it more than 1 billion times that she took her sister to embassy. You understand? Because she has American passport. She's what the other? She's either soldier or something like that. So and they did not accept her sister. So in the WhatsApp group that VDM is playing, there's a place he said they did a private DNA. That one is apart, and they were trying to whisk Wunmi out of the country. Now the nurse by person husband. Why are they whisking her away to another country? Please, we want to know, because
I can answer.
Excuse me, ma. No, hold on 1 minute. Because you said she have said her truth. She have been coming out to come and say her truth on television. You understand? So I want you to talk about that, please. Thank you very much, ma. Happy Sunday.
Thank you. You know, whisking somebody, trying to help a sister, maybe they just felt, after everything, because of the way, that lady and her son has not really lived a normal life. The son has not lived like his age, because that child has always been in fear, and the mother has always been in fear. Maybe you just feel that after everything, sending somebody to abroad is not something. Karimo has no power to take you with abroad. Let me tell you the fact, and that is free.
No, ma, calm down. No,
No, I'm trying that she has.
Okay, secondly, sorry for interjecting.
Answer your question.
No, you said that is it Wunmi you are talking about that be living in fear with her son? That they are not be living a normal life.
Yes. Let me.
When? Okay, since when, ma? Since when? Before Mohbad died or after Mohbad died, they have not been living in good thing.
After the death of her husband, because of the bullying and everything.
Okay, that's why they want to whisk them away to America.
Can you allow me to talk?
Okay, sorry, ma.
Questions. Please allow me to talk. Calm down. That's what I'm telling you. That Karimo or whosoever, they don't have power to waste anybody. They can only apply for her to go and fail to say, okay, maybe if everything settled, forgetting that even Wunmi going to Tanzania, and 100% sure, I'm not too sure, but I'm looking at it like most likely they've done their due process. They've gone through the court. Maybe the police have cleared her to say, okay, she's not a suspect. She might be a witness. Okay, let her go and come back. I don't really know. I'm just saying.
Did you see the newspaper anywhere?
She must have gotten that permission from the authority, because they were all working with the authority. So Karimo has no right to say. She might apply for her sister to say, okay, well, before then, because we could even hear from social.
But ma, it's not only Karimo now. Iyabo Ojo too.
I'm not. Yabo doesn't have power to take her out. They can only say, okay, maybe if everything works out and you are not involved.
No, this one is not if everything works out. That is, her husband's case is still on the ground, and she wants to fly out of the country. That's what I'm saying now.
No. I don't think so. No.
You don't think so?
They may be thinking that maybe
this one is not thinking, ma.
No, my sister.
Why are you connecting the question?
Let's not put emotion to this.
It's not emotion. That is.
It's a good idea if they tell her to try to go out of the country, because as it is now, nothing you're gonna say. Nobody can carry women out until she's cleared.
But me, I'm telling you, these two people tried it with evidence. That's what I want you to talk about, with evidence. One is in the chat, in the WhatsApp group. One, Karimo confessed to it.
I did not say it, but the only thing I know, they might say, okay, you know, when they have this princess daughter, Princess Foster daughter that had this issue with Mr. Baba, what is this man? This man that went to jail.
Baba Jesha.
You know, they protected that the interest of that lady, the girl. Till tomorrow, nobody knows who that girl is. But because this little child face is everywhere, so they are just saying, okay, maybe if things work out, because for me,
no, ma, this is not if things work out. They are planning. That Karimo said she took her sister. She did not say, let me go and seek 10 years visa for you. In case of, if the case finish, let's go. She want to take her sister away. Her husband is lying in the morgue, or they just buried Mohbad at that first time. This second one that VDM is reading out is 2023-2024 chart. You understand? It's not 2025 chart. Yeah. So it's not for future sake. They want to whisk her away so that she will know, how will I say, she will not be part of the kiri matter or something like that. Okay, why that if the nurse?
Why would they use the word kiri? Like, is there any evidence that say she by her husband?
Yeah. No. There is no evidence she by her husband. But why is she running away? That's what I'm saying. Why are they trying to whisk her away?
She cannot run.
She is not running away.
But Mona, they talk true. And you people, you have children. You are a mother.
Not them saying, forget, that is the emotion.
What do you mean by that?
No, I'm asking because, like, somebody husband died, she's the one that's supposed to be there to be monitoring those suspects that, my husband must get justice. Nurse, you must go down for it. Okay, why is she not running away to America or to another country?
That is the reason why there is a law court. People are involved. People should calm down. You can't put emotions if they are not.
Okay, it is called running away. Okay.
No, where will she run to? She cannot run. She cannot go anywhere until she's cleared.
But you heard Karimosha. But you heard Karimosha. Okay. Did you still hear Ijabo Ojo's own? Karimo say we can say Karimo, he talk too much. You understand? But okay, what about Ijabo Ojo's own? That VDM just brought out.
She cannot whisk her out of the country. You should forget that.
She should forget this emotion.
You guys should clap for yourself.
And she left the country while the case is still on.
People that something they are processing. Now what for you guys? So let's be saying the truth now. As a mother, let's be saying the truth. She's not the buyer of her husband, though. You understand? But she wants to monitor who buy her husband. That I want to escort that person to Kiri. But why are they trying to whisk her away? That's the question I ask now. They cannot whisk her, but they are trying. The Jabo was working on it.
Ebony, please hold on a bit. Please, CEO, let me talk. See, let's be realistic with each other. This case is in court. A sensible person, and somebody like Yabojo, I'm not trying to whitewash her here, we would not even be involved in Wunmi running away. Running away for what?
Please don't
Has there any investigation that pointed at her that she might be involved in what's by her husband, anything so far? After the coroner inquest of anything? And excuse me, please, you talk. And aside from that, a sensible person knows that in all of this, a case cannot be going on and she just carry her bag like she's running away. If there is a case of, there's a topic of their
excuse me, ma. Sorry, ma.
Allow me to land, please.
Okay,
don't interject me. Don't interject me, please. You talk. If there's a statement that said that they are processing a visa for her or something, fine, probably maybe after the case she will travel. If they want to take her away, she went to Tanzania. Why didn't they smuggle her from that place, or probably like that? Oh, they didn't see her, or she dismissed or something. Case is ongoing. Like, her husband died, and they are still trying to look for justice. The next thing is to buckle her shoe, carry her nylon bag, and run away. Run to where? If she runs to any country, they will declare her wanted, and that country will deport her. So what are we saying? When Naira Marley, when they needed them in Nigeria, didn't they come here? Were they not declared wanted? When they didn't see this guy, Prime Boy, was there not some same thing done? And Prime Boy came and said like, I did not run away. Why are they declaring me wanted? So it's a very clear thing saying she wants to run away. No, and nobody, Yabo will not want to put her hand in such like, oh yeah, come and run away. Now Yabo Bonham, that she will not use her head to carry the whole thing.
Okay, not be Yabo Bonham, but Yabo fit carry Mama Mohbad go do DNA. Okay, ma.
You never told the Mohbad to go and do DNA. You should be getting.
I said he carry Mohbad, not told. He carry Mohbad. Okay, listen, ma. Listen, ma. Let me reply. Let me reply. Okay.
She never said I went to do the. So what should I do?
Okay. Okay. Since you people said the jackpot that she wanted to jackpot is future jackpot, maybe 100 years time jackpot. What happened in 2023? According to her biological sister, I know they are half, that is mother's side, but Karimo believe.
I'm not talking.
No, let me talk. You said I should not interject you just now. Ma'am, you said I should not interject you, please.
I'm talking to somebody that is talking here. I'm not interjecting you.
Okay, ma'am.
No, something 2021. No, not this platform. It's one of my mates here. Thank you.
So, okay, since you people, you now change it that jackpot, because Karimo came out, the video is out there, how she took her sister to, because I even asked her a question, why did you try to whisk your sister away? The day she was on a Tenny Omologos platform that she said she want to say her real truth. I even asked her a question, you understand? So she said she took her sister to embassy to whisk her away, you understand? Why did you try to whisk your sister away? Who husband have just by? Who knows? That time it was not knows that by him. It was the Naira Marley, Samulare, Prime Boy, and Mama Mohbad said it's Papa Mohbad that sent people to come and buy.
Can I quickly correct you over there? Can I quickly correct you? Karimo has no power to take her sister to.
Madam, you forget about Karimo has no power, but she did it or not. She did it now. Let her say her own. Don't say that. Karimo has power. She's a military person. Military personnel. She has power. She's a passport holder. No, man. No. I disagree with you. She has power. Maybe you just came to America. Karimo has been in America for 10 years. You understand? No, ma, I disagree with you. Karimo has power. There's a lot of people Karimo wanted to pack to America. You understand? No. Okay, but Karimo, as a military person, she has power. She's a military person. She has power. She has power. If a big Cubana chief passed through her, it would have been America. Karimo has power.
Can I just talk?
No, I'm talking. I'm the one talking, ma. I'm the one talking. You are interjecting me. I'm the one talking. You are interjecting me. So Karimo said she took her sister to embassy and she dropped her passport, her 2 children's own, so that they can take her away to America. You understand? So at the end of the story, they now said if Leah was born in America, they would have taken them away. But Leah is not born in America. You understand? Ma, please, Mercy found me. Don't mute me, please. Let me talk. I was talking before her. You understand? You are muting me. I'm talking. Somebody mute me. I was talking before you. You understand? Okay. So since because the sister came out to say she took, because they were having misunderstanding, she came out to say all the things, how she made her to know Falana and all those kind of a thing. It was Falana friend, sister, daughter that contacted her. You understand? So for me, thinking maybe it's somebody that is Naira Marley or somebody that really buy Mohbad. That's why they gave her that Falana, say take, so that you can use it to fight your case. So she narrated that one. Later, she now said, I took you to embassy to take you away. You understand? Because they believe it is Sam Larry and Naira Marley that bite Mohbad. In the group chat that is going on now, there is a place where VDM, I will urge VDM to post that place. You understand? Because there's nothing VDM will drop that he don't drop evidence. Let him post that place because he talked about it. You understand that? There is a place Iyabo Ojo was trying to carry Wunmi out of the country. VDM, if you are listening or let anybody tag VDM, you need to drop that page, that right up where they were planning it that she should leave the country. You understand? So if she don't have hand in the husband, why? It is nurse. Okay, exactly. Are you talking to me exactly or what? I heard somebody say exactly. If she did not have hand in the buying of Mohbad, I don't think they will be planning to whisk her out of the country. Now they're saying that it's nurse that buy the boy. Okay, another one again. Madam, hold on now, Madam Nurse, hold on, Madam Nurse. I will finish now. No, hold on, ma. You can't explain to me. Hold on, go and listen to VDM. Madam, no, you can't tell me that one. No, VDM, please drop it. VDM, please, if you are listening, any writer in the building, please tell our president to drop that page, that place where this thing, you understand? Let him drop your VDM. Drop it, I beg.
No, maybe it is high time you go to your we can't even have conversation.
Why we can't have conversation? Why we can't have conversation? Why?
We're discussing here. That is not the topic here today.
I know more about visa and application. I have to correct you. Karimo has no power to take to assist her to the embassy. Maybe she has been working it before. That is possible.
She was not working it before, Madam Nurse. She was not working it before.
Please, let me talk.
Don't call
her
her
name.
You know her name. Her name is on the profile.
Which can you hear, Bonnie?
Madam Nurse that you're talking about.
She's a nurse. Who's the second nurse? Your
president is saying anything. Go back to your president's page and talk about that.
She might go to say, okay, go to the course. If she has an there is a probability that whether it might be given or not. So Karimo has no power to say she wants to whisk her or to give her this.
She said it is true.
Okay, look at Obi Kubana, chief priest, who was supposed to go for Davido's marriage. They sent all their applications.
For life,
invited them for his marriage. It's the job of the embassy to know whether they want to approve or deny him. Look at, according to what the story is saying, that
you want to apply visa for future sake. You guys are crazy.
They defied their stay the last time they came. They didn't follow the rules. So Karimo or Iyabo has no right or power to whisk her out. They can say, okay, let them apply. You apply. The duty is for you to apply, get the necessary documentation ready. Then you go to the embassy when you have an invitation. You cannot get into the embassy without an invitation. No matter how this one you find out that when you go to the embassy, there are a lot of people out there. They only attend to you if you have an invitation or you have a letter that you want to go for inquiry. Then you go into there, you make your inquiry, you come out in there. So who is Karimo? Which man? What kind of ministry is Karimo?
But did she do it or not? Did she do it or not? Did she do it or not?
It's not possible. She did not do it.
This this lady now what for you? You just want the award-winning liar of the year. She did not do it. Karimo did not do it. Ask Wumi. Ask Wumi if she will tell you the truth. Ask Wumi, madam. I say ask Wumi. No, she did not do it.
Ask her.
Ah.
Go and ask her. It is very easy for us. It's very, very easy to comprehend.
Jesus.
Right process. She went to
you don't go to embassy. You don't get an invite. You just go to a U.S. embassy.
Embassy and say.
She did it. She did it. She would not lie about it. She did it.
My goodness. Why are you talking like this?
Go and ask Karimo now. Was she not part of you guys before? Why would she lie?
It's not part of us.
Just make our point.
They are not part of anybody. Is it possible to go to U.S. embassy uninvited?
Madam Posh.
Is it possible?
Madam Posh.
She said she took her to a family unit. Hey, yeah.
And you keep saying,
Oga, I give you the floor. Thank you, sir.
There are instances where you can do that. Please, if there are a situation of you could do what you call this adru. You could do that. You could come under the influence. There is war, there's an emergency or something, and then
without a doctor report, without any document to back it up.
If there
of course there are documents. If there is you have to back it up, definitely. Saying it's not possible is not. You will say, if you say there are documents you need to package, people do that. It's not about right. It's not possible. It is possible. It's just about getting.
Yeah, we know it's possible, but in this case, we're talking about in this case, like an individual, she's held with her child, and she just go to the embassy, like her sister just took her hand, like, who is the Karimo, like Donald Trump, like, yeah, let's go. You know, give my sister and her daughter. No, now. It is very easy to comprehend.
I understand there are processes, and I'm sure she's not. That's not what she's saying. Now, this next full issue of Karimo. What we were saying earlier is that, see, I understand Ebony has, talked about the medical negligence, and she's given that a percentage of 90%. Now I understand. We all agree there is medical negligence, which can actually be 90%. But we are saying the remaining 10%, let's look around it, let's see. The 10% can actually give us 90%, can actually turn, the 10% will turn around and become 90%. In the sense that there are circumstances around even before the nurse came, and even when the nurse left. There has been issues around, and this is where, to actually uncover this kind of situation, we will not just say medical negligence, because there has to be some intelligence briefing, there has to be, investigation, what happened. Let's not just blame it on the nurse. That is what I am saying. Like, now, later on, they said, okay.
Can I ask you a question? Let's not blame it on the nurse. Like,
please, can you
please explain, on that, and who should we blame the 10% on? And why?
The 10% have gotten their blame. The 10% comes from spending, it comes from Baba, and it comes from Yogi. The judge has given his own finding to say, Baba, this is what you did wrong. And he also blamed the police for saying, why come you guys did not attend to the bullying? That they should go and reinstate it. They should go back and bring that up and investigate it. And he blamed Baba for him being obstructing justice, because for him to go and bury that child that day, he obstructed justice. And the other 10% also goes to Wumi for her not doing her due diligence as a wife, by not forcing the husband to go to the hospital. Say, no, next time your husband is a celebrity, is a star, you're supposed to take him to the hospital. You know, he gave a portion. Those are the people that falls under the 10%. Thank you.
Now,
maybe he has another way of his own 10%. I really want to hear. I like how he has been interacting.
What I'm saying is, we are not totally going to say, this guy has come out to say, before he married, say, if anything happens to me, this is who you should be responsible.
That was before they got married. I hope that was before they got married.
Yeah. It wasn't long they got married. I think they was almost conceiving that boy before they got married. I think it was around that time. When he was about to I already had the child before, almost having the child before they got married. No, but it wasn't that long.
When he was abused, that he would, because if you notice in that statement, she was like, I don't know if you understand Yoruba. Àbáyé fẹ́ bàjẹ́ ni ìgbà táwọn NDN wà ní polo wà mo tí kọ́kọ́ bá ṣe mí like she wants to be unfortunate when these people come, where were you? If anything happens to me, so that was before they got married, not after, or not during when she was pregnant.
You see,
they were talking about that. I believe that was before they got married. And now, if you want to talk about that statement, he made a statement 4 months before he's dismissed. Because he said, if anything happens to him, they should hold the Malian's record. That's 4 months before he dismissed. So, what are we talking about?
What I'm saying is this. See, to be honest with you, there's all the time the nurse was doing all what she was doing. The wife was there. Now what I'm saying is, if you have a wife and I should be able to give. You should be able to give that. This is the state my husband was when we before the nurse came. Okay, after the nurse came and injected him, I noticed a change in his system. He started rapid convulsing. Started doing this. Then you are giving us a narrow down. It's okay. But would you just come up and say, when you come out giving us the this is this, could not be even starting from the fact that he was unconscious, he has been behaving like he has mental issues even before, just to try and exonerating yourself and trying to do a deflection. You understand? All of a sudden, he said this is TV in the house, it's not working, they couldn't get any facts from me. And you are this person's wife. You cannot give us a narrow down. So, okay, this is the situation he was when we came back from the don't start from okay, some people did this to him, some people did this to him. Give us okay, this guy was still fine up until this time. Myself and him were together up until this time. Then at this point that he was injected, I noticed he did this. See, I work in the healthcare, so you understand. It's not just about saying, oh, you don't catch somebody to make as a scapegoat. You understand? Then coming out to the fact that we could not get anything from medical report, we could not get anything from autopsy, we could not get anything from concrete. Nobody could hold any tangible. The wife could not come up with any tangible this thing. Then you begin to wonder, is there a conspiracy? If anybody, somebody has died in this country, and the corpse was taken for autopsy, and they were able to say, this is the reason this person, this is broken, even after 5 years. So why is it that, okay, we could not ascertain or kill this guy, this is it. And there are so many people trying to defend one here and here and there. I'm not laying a finger to someone that this is who killed the person. As much as I agree there were medical gaps between the medical administration that was done. See, there are a lot of medical administration that even in advanced countries in UK, in the US, medication has been administered wrongly, and then people still it's not even up to 90% or 80% to conclude that this is because this person made this.
Excuse me, please. I'm coming.
Just a minute, please. You will say you get your time. You get your time. It's not enough to say final conclusion because you did this. This is it. Not giving every other aspect a chance, because there are a lot of things that actually did not corroborate, and is that, and then coming to talk about the DNA. Okay, if people are suspecting that this guy does not belong, this child does not belong to this guy, probably that was the reason that, okay, I'm doing out the DNA. Let's do this. Then this is it. The guy belongs to it. And then they claim there are another time when the issue of the DNA was the issue. The woman was on, and then there was a time they came out to say she did the DNA privately. The mother's this thing was used. The grandmother's
so you make me forget my words. One, you're talking about the nurse that you cannot possibly put the 100% claim on the nurse. Okay, for example, there's a walking dead man that's, let me say, probably this person there's a spell on this person that person will probably die at 2 o'clock on the dot.
When you say spell, what do you mean by spell?
It has a spell on someone, for this African magic or whatever. There's a spell on someone.
How can you come and say a spell? There is nothing like spell.
I'm just saying an example. I'm going somewhere. Like there's this person that has a illness, like a very terrible something, like
an underlying.
It has undergoing something that it has a very slim chances of ending it, or probably must have even gotten a doctor. I'm just trying to bring out an example.
Okay, go ahead.
And this person has a lifespan, probably in the next 2 hours. This person 2 o'clock on the dot. This person will drop by.
Okay.
And somebody come in contact with that person, they have an altercation and it pushed that person, the person ends it immediately. Who do you think they will be held responsible? We have seen in cases where 2 people were just arguing, and probably the person that slapped person was the one that fell down, and the next thing people will be like, carry on, maybe you don't kill him.
Okay.
When they didn't slap him, he was the one that slapped the person. And they were like, carry him, Shebi, you don't kill him. Have you seen the case? Now, they're talking about evidence that was presented to the coroner inquest, police or whatever. She agreed that she had administered an injection to him. And she knew fully well that he might react to it. And she didn't come with the antidote. What did you expect the police to say? Like, oh, you did well. For the fact that she breathed like 3 rules here. For the fact that she's an auxiliary nurse. Secondly, she was not even meant to come home and treat him. Thirdly, she didn't ask for the medical background of the guy before administering any injection. Fourthly, she admits that injection without antidote. How else did you want the coroner inquest to do, to clap for her, like, oh, 90% of this? Of course, they said 90% she was at fault, probably 10% will make you at fault because you were not there, you didn't ask questions, you didn't do this, you didn't do that.
Woman, why would the autopsy not tell us that this is exactly what happened?
That was why they fought Papa Mohbad, telling him that because he rushed to bury him.
Yeah, I explained to you.
They couldn't get the accurate what happened to him because they rushed.
That is what is called obstruction of justice.
That is his only fault.
Now, are you saying that if they had buried somebody, they cannot get the autopsy?
I'm not saying experts are saying it. That is not my way. That is what they are judged. And if it was wrong, I know probably there are a lot of people that must have come out. There are experts that say inconsistent. That this judge, that is not good. But at least they will ask for further question. Why can't you get what happened? Why can't you get the main reason what happened? What by this guy?
Those guys are talking as if we are not in Nigeria.
When it comes to
excuse me, I'm not talking about we in Nigeria. Maybe probably they compromise us not now. I will not
yes,
that. But what I am telling you
somebody
now
has
is
died
that
over 5 years or more and more, and then the autopsy was still done, and they could still get the result.
But we explained to you now, it's obstruction of justice. They buried him and they cemented it immediately. That is where they could not get it. These are expert talking. This is not me talking. I am not expert in that field.
This thing to you
This
for the past 1 hour. Both of you were interact for like an hour.
I've told you, it's an expert. Yeah, the judge doesn't even know what the job is. She went with the evidence that the expert
that was presented.
It was presented to them. That is why I said law is fact. It's not emotion. It's not. That is why no matter how we look at law, people sometimes it favors you, it doesn't favor somebody. Because if you are able to bring your fact and defend it, then the judge is looking at those facts and evidence, putting things together and saying this. So the judge has already given his own verdict. She has given verdict based on the result she has. She faulted.
I understand the submission.
The father. So what are you? So I don't know why you are talking about autopsy. If experts can say they are not getting a conclusive result, then who am I to not say I'm not? It's not my field.
Thank you.
Just like if you do lab,
that they are not getting a conclusive result, meaning that you cannot even say that this is. We are all saying the coroner did the most appropriate one by making sure that there was no trauma to his body. If there was a trauma to his body, there would have been a different case. They were able to know that there was no trauma to his body. They were able to let us know that his body was intact, except the cut which he has on his hand. That was the only thing they noticed. And they said there were some elements of drugs or whatever in the system. But other things that they really needed to know, whether it was poison or whatever. So they've given some evidence which the judge worked with.
Did you know that the same Baba Mohbad did his own autopsy?
I don't know that. I don't know.
Yes, they did. We don't know whether it's real, they did or not, but they took money, and because of this, that is why you find out that this job was done neatly. They went to the coroner to say they don't believe the autopsy result. That they wanted to do their own. Because they wanted everything
DNA
done rightly. He gave them the go ahead and said, go and do your own. They've been transparent all along. We ought to see. For a judge to say, giving you that right and the power to say, go and do your own autopsy and bring it in, let's see. It's something. So they wanted to do a good job, because if they've requested for their DNA, the judge has the right and the power to say, no, we're not going to take any other DNA. We're going to accept the DNA, the autopsy from the state. But they said, okay, go ahead and do yours. So they went, whether they did or they didn't do. See, today they didn't come out with their own result. But which I believe, if it has been different from what the government did, if they really did it, if there was differences, they would have come out to counter it. But I'm very sure that maybe they came back the same or they did not do it. Because till today, nobody knows about their own results.
Okay, Real, let me now talk about the DNA that you talked about. Remember, there was a group, we were all in the group, and if you could remember vividly, Dr. DK was, according to the message that we saw, the chat, Dr. DK was the one that said, oh, to buttress what BDM has been saying, and she was like, oh, come to think of it, what about the DNA test? Between you and I, we all know that if they come out to say, oh, we have done the private DNA test, this is the result. Even me, I will not believe it. I will not take it. DNA test has to be done according to the law, according to the government way, that it will be transparency. And Dr. Dike said, at least, just like, at least let me know what I am fighting for. Say, at least this guy was saying something about DNA. Let us do it at least extremely private, for me to know what I am fighting for. If she did not even say it to the end, like, I don't need to know the result, but. And secondly, you know that they cannot bring in post another child DNA results on the internet. Everybody, the law will sue them for it. So they said they had a DNA test, private DNA test, just for them to get the accurate. They cannot go to the government now and say that please we need more sampling for DNA test or a private DNA test. It is not done. You and I know that. It is not done. If DNA wants to be done, it will be done publicly in a government way, which will be accepted. Even at the end, I know a lot of us will still accept it. If DNA is negative today, some of us will say, oh, they lied. If it's positive, some of us will still say, oh, they lied, they manipulate it. So talking about that private DNA test, a mother can decide today, like maybe probably she's not even sure. She can decide that let me go and do DNA of this child. If she's not sure, probably she did one or two things. And the father can actually, we have seen the cases where father just stood up like, this child that be suspected, just go and do private DNA. And in this case, they just need it so that they will know that they are fighting the right cause.
Yes, you're right.
Yes, the group, they know what they are standing for, so that tomorrow it will not come and be like, oh, now see una life, see una they fight for. Now another man became a thing,
How did they, where did they get the sample? How did they do the DNA?
According to them, according to this chart that was exposed, they said we use Mohbad's mom's to carry
and
out.
that's used to determine the paternity of the child.
According to internet or something.
They went to check their own. You know, this DNA, the court has given them the order to go to the DNA. I think early this year on late last, the court has given them, when they told women to say if she wants to do it, women said yes. They did a video call with her and she agreed. And the court has approved it. To say, okay,
Papa is not
do your thing. Nobody is the one not doing it. So,
he doesn't want to do it. I don't know, maybe allegedly, maybe he doesn't want to do it. But he's not making it.
Because if you are really supporting somebody, if you are supporting somebody with your full chest and say, this person I want to support, you yourself, you want to know the cause you are fighting. You just don't want to support somebody without knowing this thing. And they said, okay, go and do it. Let us be sure to know what we are fighting. They not to go ahead to say, okay, we are sticking our life, everything they dragged it for you. So for me, I don't see anything wrong in them doing it. And they did it, they kept it because they have no right to publish it. They just wanted to know, even they've done it, they say, okay, everything looks good. They say, okay, let's continue. Because if it wasn't there, they would have said, okay, we're not going to help you because we can't support you because we cannot defend it. Everybody knows that. And I'm 100% sure, I may not be correct, but I'm also sure that before they go and do that DNA, they must have spoken to woman's lawyer. Nothing was done behind the lawyer.
What I'm saying is, don't get in there. Can you use the mother's sample to determine the paternity of the child?
According to what we're saying, they say they can use anybody. It's just like relationship DNA. Just to know that, okay, the mother, I don't know, they can use whatever they want to use. Can't you see that if they want to do DNA for somebody, they will use finger, they can do anything to get the DNA for somebody. So I don't think there's anything wrong or this. It's not only the father or the paternal father or whatever, the man's father. They can do DNA, whatever they want to use, they can use it to do it.
I don't think so. Because I've actually tried to confirm.
If you work in health center.
You said?
You said he works at the health center, right?
Definitely, healthcare doesn't have to do with.
And you can make your findings about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've actually made some inquiries and I've been told that it is actually the grandfather or the father, the paternity line that can actually be used to determine that.
I think so. Even in the overseas where they do DNA, how do they trace people's heritage, where they came from? So they have to wait for the paternal side. No, I don't think so. They can use anything they want to use to trace where the person comes from. So it's not only that it has to be from the father, the mother, the brothers. That is why they are family, because they are all connected by blood. Whether one way or the other, the connection is there. So that one that you are saying that it's only from the father or the grandfather, no. One of that comes from in a situation whereby the father died and there is no grandfather, and they want to check the DNA. When they check the DNA of the child, they can do it. They can use science and make everything easy for everybody. So you saying that it's only the father or the grandfather, that is the a very wrong assertion. It's not credible. No, it's not. I'm looking at it on the internet now because I'm at home. Oh, hello. Oh, the guy just left. Because I'm looking at it now. They say, will a child share DNA with grandparents? He says yes. He said a child can share a DNA with any of its grandparents, or even to the extent of going to the great grandparents. He said because the grandparents each has inherited half of the DNA from their parents. So it's possible. They can, because from when you are looking at ancestry, how do they trace people that they will say you came from the African region, you came from the other part of region, able to trace where the person came from? It's through DNA. So anybody that shares blood with the person, you can get the DNA from the person. So not only from the father or the grandfather. I don't think that is the right assertion. Oh, the guy has left. Okay, thank you. Somebody is asking a question. Does Mohbad have a genetic relationship with his mom? What kind of question is that?
Does Mohbad have a genetic relationship with his mom? Wow, for someone that carried him for 9 months.
Can you imagine? He said, does
she's
not have a
not
genetic relationship. Sometimes people, let's know how we go into people's affairs. You cannot just say that if he has a genetic relationship with his mom, who gave birth to Mohbad? It's not his mom. We should please take everything easy. It's not that deep. It's not. We are not their family. We are only just trying.
I get your message now. Does Mohbad not have genetic relationship? Okay. I got your message now.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry too.
They are only reasoning by themselves.
Does not have a genetic. Okay, the way you see, that's why I said the problem with this justice for Mohbad is English. We are all reading everything differently and understanding it differently. People just say something, maybe if they say never, they will not turn it to be something different. Just like in one of the group chat we saw that said, we are not only going to go after those who fight him, but those who bullied him. They never put that one. So English has been the problem for everyone. In English, we all understand it differently. When you say never, some people will read it to be something else. And somebody reading a group chat and analyzing it for us. No, we all raise. That is why you find that when you are in a meeting, they will say, okay, give your solution. Because people reason differently. Two people never reason the same. There have to be an opinion. This is how I say my own. This is how I understand it. Say it the way you understand it. You must not say because I understand it this way, everybody has to understand it. Or because I understand this way, I have to push it for you to say you have to take my no. English is one of the greatest problems in justice of Mohbad. And so many people who are involved in it are people who are not even reading the citizen. They just come based on what somebody has said. Somebody is not saying because an almighty person has said this. This is somebody, I'm sorry to say, this is somebody who did not even go to school. He's not even educated. He's basing his reading based on his emotion, based on what he wants to let us to know. There is nothing he's bringing out that is based on fact and evidence. And before you have to come with your fact and evidence.
Oh, now go there. All of you don't take you in a husband
before. We just say something the way we understand it. You may not like the way I understand it. Things
Now they say me they look for we big peace. Nobody talks this so until I don't carry this matter come back again. When they see group chat, damage control.
But me, I will come back. All those one are evil people.